Hi everybody, this is Dark Storm Comic Reviews here with a review on Green Goblin, issue 11. So let's jump into this. So the story starts off with the return of Angel Face, which if you guys don't remember from my previous reviews, she appeared in the Green Goblin issue 8 as a new villain for the Green Goblin. She eventually gets defeated and put in jail, and she returns in this issue. So Warren Ellis, who's a reporter, he kind of competes with Ben Urich, which is Phil Urich's nephew. But yeah, anyways, so Warren Ellis, who's a reporter for the Bugle, is with a couple of detectives and cops and stuff, and they're like investigating what happened here. Apparently, Angel Face took a weapon and started just kind of stabbing people. So they're just kind of talking about that. So Warren Ellis is like, yeah, that's quite a nasty lady, but hey, he's talking to Lynn Walsh. Yeah, Lynn Walsh, the blonde chick right here, who has a crush on Phil Urich, or who Phil Urich has a crush on her. Yeah, he has a crush on her basically, and he's like, okay, so you know Phil, right? You think you could like maybe ask him for some information, to help my story out and stuff, to help me get like a one-up on his Uncle Ben? She goes, yeah, sure, I could do that. So we get back to Phil here. If you don't remember from the last issue, he battled against this guy called Arcade, and he ended up winning a bounty that was placed on himself because he's the Green Goblin, and he ended up getting rich because of the bounty that was placed on himself. So he's all rich, and he's just raining it in money, doing the money dance or whatever you want to call it. And he's really happy. He's like, yeah, this is great. Now I can now I should probably put up my goblin mask and I can actually start thinking about my future. Should I go eat dinner with my folks? Should I check out the cost of fishing college? Stuff like that. And he goes, or maybe I could be a responsible one. I could spin it on a new stereo. Tons of options. But anyways, so we get back to Angel Face and her gang. They're like they're basically planning their revenge on the Green Goblin because, Green Goblin, you see her face right here. If you remember from issue 8, he messed up her face by, hitting a steam pipe with one of his finger blasters, and that's how she got her face kind of damaged. So, yeah, they're just, planning a whole revenge thing. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, I guess. But then we get to the next scene. Phil's, ready. He bought a new suit. He blew money on very expensive clothes, which, I never personally understood that, but, whatever. And, yeah, but anyways, he's dressed up all fancy. He's going to go ask out the girl of his dreams, his crush, Lynn Walsh, who's the blonde lady right here. She takes him into an office room because, she wants to talk about the thing with him, about how she needs information for her and Warren Ellis' story. So we move to this page, and, this is Meredith Campbell. She's his really good friend. But of course, you can see the jealousy vibes on her. She's like, I don't want you taking my guy. What are you doing? And but anyway, so Phil and Meredith are talking. Meredith's like, hey, Warren, he wants me to con you and giving me some information for the story. But I really do need that information too. So do you think you could give me the information? And he goes, no way, I'm not gonna. Actually, he kind of goes forget it, Lynn. I like you, but I'm not gonna, sell out my uncle. Not even for you. And, he's all bummed because he got all dressed up for her to ask her out. He's pretty ticked off about it. That his crush doesn't like him, which, most people would be. And, he's like, screw all this stuff. But then he goes to his uncle. He's like, I should probably let you know, Uncle Ben, that Warren Ellis is trying to scoop a story off of you. And he goes, hey, whatever, I'm not competing, Phil, I'm just doing my job, I'm a reporter, that's what we do. I'm not trying to compete with Ellis, no matter what he thinks. So he's like, I'll hand him the file anyways, it's whatever. But Phil's, really bummed, because, when Lynn didn't really like him the way he thought she did. So he's pretty bummed out about that. And he's like, how could this day go any worse? Although he's rich, so, you kind of wonder why he's this upset, because he has all this money, but it's whatever. But, it was his crush, so I can see that point of view. But anyways, he gets captured. And then, he gets his mask taken off, and he's like, what do you want? What am I doing here? And she goes, I want the goblin, basically, So you want to see out my new toy? And it's like this electric pen thing, and it shoots like an electric spark off of it, and it like destroys his coffee maker. It's pretty cool, I guess. And then she's like, yeah. So I just really want to get revenge on the Goblin, and then they're kind of just they're just kind of like interrogating him basically. Not much to really go off of. There is one cool thing where Phil's like, he was like, I should summon my Goblin Glider and I should help out, but then, what would that really accomplish? They would kill me. So he has that sort of self-doubting thing, like, it's like, I'm no real hero, I'm no Spider-Man or any of that stuff, and that's always been pretty interesting to me. But, you got a bunch of bad guys here, and essentially what Angel Face is doing is she's, like, assembling a meeting with bad guys, and she's like, why are we still robbing stores, right? Why are we still gangbanging and robbing stores the old-fashioned way when we could be using new technology, like my, hip electric wand? Like, come on, guys, let's update ourselves. But anyways, Phil's trying to escape. He's like, I want to just bail. I don't really care for any of this, but because they got Lynn, I need to save her. I need to save Lynn, because even though she like tried to con me and all this other stuff, I still like her. So it's like, I'm gonna save her. So he does. He makes his escape basically. Summons his glider. Yeah, he summons his glider, he escapes, all that stuff. Flies to the roof. He gets free. They're doing what I discussed earlier. She's telling him, like, we don't need to be robbing the old-fashioned way anymore. We can use these new weapons. These guys are like, yeah, lady, you're the new Kingpin. You're trying to be a wannabe, whatever. Wannabe Kingpin. But anyways, before that discussion can keep going, the Goblin breaks in to the warehouse. He throws some pumpkin bombs at him. Guns are flying everywhere. Bullets are flying everywhere. And so Goblin's just taking him down. He's throwing some pumpkin bombs. He gets some good action in here, I gotta say. And he's just taking them all down, destroying them like they're nothing. And it's like it's really cool scene actually. Get a punch. Sorry, I'm blocking it. Get a punch here. Get a punch here. Get a choke, I guess, here. You get like a shoulder, like a lunge here. Yeah. And let me just get a better shot for you guys, because this is the stuff I like. This is when it gets to the action. See his face here. Punch. Another punch. And then that. And so then Angel Face is obviously really ticked off. She tries zapping the Goblin with her electric stick thingy. Electric wand, or whatever you want to call it. And so Goblin's flying off. Bullets are flying everywhere. More action is to be had. Yep. And, just a lot of good action. I like how he's smoking this lady out with one of his smoking bombs. Like, smoke's just keep coming out of the bomb, and she's just going cough, cough, like she can't handle it. I didn't notice that until now. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so Warren Ellis is also being kind of a jerk, because he's like, oh, I want to scoop you a story, and it's right when he's in the middle of battle. So, this guy, this is Warren Ellis right here. This guy's kind of scummy. So, but anyways, they keep going. Warren gets in the Goblin's way, because Angel Face accidentally zaps him instead of the Goblin. So she's pretty ticked off about that. She goes, well, it's time to do the old-fashioned hostage thing, where she takes the girl and she's like taking her hostage, and and all that other stuff. And so then Angel Face is like, okay, so Goblin's gonna come out of this hole, and that's when I'm just gonna straight up zap him with my electric wand. And she thinks it's gonna work until the Goblin gets smart enough and just sends the Goblin glider out solo, and she just fires at the glider itself, not at Phil. And Goblin's like, sorry about that, guys. And the Goblin's like, yeah, I knew you'd try to go for that trick, so I thought, yeah, I just send the Goblin out solo and then come for you on foot. Which he does, and he gives her a nice big, punch in the face, which, you shouldn't do to women because it's wrong. It's don't hit women, but yeah. But anyways, he does, and it's like, yep, I'm saving the day. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy you. You're gonna die. But Phil jumps out of the way just in time. It hits an oil can or tank, or whatever you want to call it, and it's like spreads all over the docks, and eventually, and he saves Lynn, by the way, and yeah, he gets out of Dodge, and the whole thing explodes. Here's something I want to say, which is kind of funny. Yeah, you don't see, as far as like the main, because this is set in, for those of you who keep up with the comic books, this story, I believe, is set in the main Marvel continuity. So, and from what I can tell, she actually dies in this. Like, Angel Face does not come back. Like, she straight up dies in this explosion. Okay, so she does live in another alternate universe, like the Marvel Comics Universe 2. She's alive in that universe, but as far as I know, Angel Face straight up dies. Like, there's no resurrection, there's no comic books are always bringing back villains constantly. But as far as I can tell, she doesn't come back, so she's dead in this. So, I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I don't know, because it's very the same when it comes to bringing back villains. Like, comics are always bringing back the bad guys, so I find it's kind of cool that she legitimately dies in this. Like, it's kind of different. But anyways, he escapes, and he saves Lynn. Lynn gives her a big old kiss and stuff, and he's like happy. He's like, happy and joy, that his crush finally likes him, even though she tried to con him like a page or something ago. But take what you can get, I guess. But anyways, he's back in the Bugle. Lynn and Meredith are talking. Lynn's like, oh, well, yeah, it's like, and Meredith's like, oh, so she really kissed that Green Goblin guy? She's like, yeah, we were like, those guys, Rhett Butler and Scarlet O'Hara, I don't know who those guys are, but yeah, we were like those guys. And she's like, yeah, but he smelled so gross, like yuck, and kissing him, ugh. It's like, but it'll work well towards my story. It'll give me some good cred. So I did it for the story. And Meredith's like, that's kind of jerky. Lennon's like, whatever. I'm being a success right now. So Phil's obviously bummed. He's really bummed out. And Meredith's like, hey, you don't look so good, Phil. He goes, I just feel like the world's biggest dork because I had this crush on this girl, but she apparently didn't like me or the Goblin. So he's all bummed out, and he's like, he kind of needs a friend right now. So he's like, why don't we go out and get some dinner or something? She's like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So that was Green Goblin issue 11. It's a pretty good issue. Pretty good issue. I like the whole him and Lynn thing where it kind of fails a little bit and it doesn't really work out. And you can tell there's like a little love triangle going on with him and Meredith, kind of similar to the whole Peter Parker Mary Jane thing. But it's pretty good. I like the issue. I thought it was cool. It was cool to see Angel Face return. I like the fact that she dies, and to my knowledge, I could be wrong, but I don't think she appears again in the main Marvel continuity. I know in an alternate universe she comes back, but that's different. But the main continuity, I think she stays dead after this. So, yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think she dies in that explosion. But, yeah, it's a good issue. I liked it. I liked stuff with Lynn and Phil. I liked how she was trying to con him. You could tell she wasn't really interested in him. And how something might blossom with him and Meredith. So that was pretty cool. So, yeah, this has been Green Goblin issue 11. It was good. I liked it. And this is Dark Storm Comic Reviews signing off.